Hello, everybody, and welcome to the fourth of the IST Top Tip Telecons that we've been holding as we help prepare all of the wonderful IST for the role at the Jamborees. My name is Graham Hamilton. I'm a member of the community support team, and tonight we're going to be focusing on the post-event that's taking place in Washington straight after the Jamboree camp itself. Thank you for joining us, and just the first couple of slides just to give you some introductions. When we were rehearsing this last week, the slides were moving very slowly. So if they move slowly tonight, we reckon that we're going to tie that in with some of our preparation for fitness. So please walk and pedal and cycle and do what you can to keep the internet moving freely so that we get through the slides and take you with us. We're going to cover four things tonight, four key areas. We're going to have a look in detail at the timeline from the moment we leave the Jamboree campsite until the end of the post-event activities in Washington, DC, and talk you through specific details and milestones and highlights of the 48 or so hours in the capital city. We're going to talk about the challenges, the activities that many of you have been working on already, and many of you are starting now to engage with each other, look at what you want to do when you're in the city. On the Sunday evening, we'll be holding a celebration event to say thank you to all of you for the work that by then you will have done, but which you're all now preparing for in your teams. And then I'd like to spend just a bit of time focusing on some outcomes about what that post-event gives us an opportunity to do and what preparation you might want to put in place for it. Now, you might have questions, and on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll be able to submit the questions. One of our colleagues is gathering those up, and as we get to the end of the webinar, Jonathan will start to post the questions, and one of us on the call will attempt to answer them. If we can't answer your question tonight, then we will pick them up and we will respond probably through the IST page or through some FAQs in the weeks ahead, or perhaps even at the weekend when we're all together for the All Adults Weekend. But we'll make sure that that information is available and shared. So please do pose questions if we haven't covered items as we go through the presentation, or even if we are going through it and you think, yeah, I've got something I would need to get clarified on what's been said. So please take the chance tonight and ask questions. And then if you need to drop out the call or you know somebody that can't be with us tonight, then like the other three recordings, we're capturing those and we're putting them in the IST zone in the place called What Have I Missed? And even if you want to go back and re-listen to some of the discussion, or you want to encourage somebody else to pick up a piece that they didn't hear tonight, then please do encourage them to do that, because it's important that we keep that information for everybody and we can all follow through on it. So who's on the call tonight, apart from all of you wonderful IST folks? I've already introduced myself. We've got Peter Wilson, so you're going to get some Scottish and some Northern Irish accents taking you through most of the slides this evening. Michelle is going to be joining us. Michelle's also contingent support team, and Michelle will be talking towards the end of the presentation about the university. Vicky Whitehead's with us. Vicky's from Girl Guiding and also a member of the CSMT. And then Jonathan, as I said right early on, will be supporting us with the questions and trying to collate those and fire those to each of us in turn to help you get the clarity that you're looking for. So a strong team supporting you tonight, and we're looking forward to some of the dialogue and discussion. So over to Peter.
Thanks, Graham. Okay, so yes, folks, the first thing that we have to announce is about the baseball. Everybody who entered the ballot for tickets has been accepted to the game, and we have secured tickets for everybody, and they will all be attending. We will be going to see the Baltimore Orioles versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Everybody who's going is going to be getting a meal voucher and some very limited edition merchandise. The dress code for this event is not uniform, but the UK as a whole is going to be wearing either contingent t-shirts and a necker, or possibly a swap t-shirt from another contingent, or you can wear the colours of the teams, blue for the Blue Jays or black and orange for the Orioles, with your Scout necker. We also have a great section of seats for over 4,000 UK Scouting members, all to attend the baseball game together. It's going to be a great spectacle. There's going to be more information and more detail coming in the weeks to come. And let's hope we get the weather that's in the picture.
See, this is where the slides go slow. Isn't that really exciting news, and great that everybody there is able to go to see the baseball. So let's have a look at some of the timelines. Early, and we do mean very early on this Saturday morning as the Jamboree finishes, 600 or so IST will be boarding buses, leaving the site, and we'll be heading across to Washington, DC. Flexibly, we're suggesting that we're going to arrive over lunchtime at the Catholic University, and we'll show you some more of that later when Michelle gives you a tour of the university. And once we get settled in and checked into our rooms in the afternoon, we'll be able to start our post-event challenges. And you can continue those through Saturday evening, through Sunday morning. But what we would like to make sure is that no matter what you're doing on the Sunday, all the challenges are finished by noon. In the afternoon, for those of you that suggested that you would like to do a bus tour, then the 2-hour coach tour around Washington, DC, seeing many of the sites, will take place. We're expecting that there'll be a bus or a set of buses leaving at 4 p.m. in the afternoon and another set leaving round about 7 o'clock in the evening. And everybody will be given Metro cards when you check in. The bus will leave and return to the university. It's not a hop on, hop off. It's a 2-hour bus tour of the city. At the moment, we're expecting the evening meals will take place in the university, and they'll be done in a sort of timetabled way as well. So those of you that are going on the 7 o'clock bus tour, then obviously you would be wanting to have your meal ahead of going on that tour. On the Sunday then, opportunity for your challenges and your teams to continue, or perhaps it's something that you're going to do if you were visiting the cathedral or something like that. That might be part of the Sunday morning challenge for you. Those of you that are going to the baseball, as Peter said, you need to be ready to leave by 11 o'clock in the morning. So if you're still trying to finish off your challenge, then you need to be back at the university ready to go to baseball in whichever kit that you've decided to wear by 11 o'clock. If you're not going in the baseball, many others decided that you wanted some free time in and around Washington. And again, you see from the slide that we will be providing meal and travel cards so that you'll be able to do that freely and not feel that you've got to come back and have a sit-down meal in the university, but you'll be able to have a grab-and-go opportunity. And then in the evening, by 6 o'clock, what we'd like is everybody back. So those that have been at baseball, those that have been wandering around the town, those that are just relaxing and exploring around the campus of the university, so that we can have a very large celebration and an opportunity to say thank you for what you have done supporting the World Scout Jamboree and all the young people who have been taking part, whether it's activities, listening ear, security, or whatever many other jobs that you'll have been doing. And then to grab some photographs, some videos, some screenshots of your adventure over those previous 24 hours in and around Washington, DC, doing the challenges that you've been doing, working as new teams and new colleagues, making new friends, and then sharing that and celebrating that to end our experience of the Jamboree. Peter.
And when we speak about the celebration event, this is, as Graham said, something that has been planned to say a very big thank you to you for all of your hard work, for giving up your time, for paying to go to America to a World Jamboree, and also to give all of the IST a chance to relax, to eat, to mingle, and possibly show off your singing skills with the open mic or ukuleles have been mentioned. We're bringing 620 IST back to Washington. This is going to be a chance to have a very large barbecue with the CMST and the IST team involved as well. There is going to be entertainment. We're going to show you some pictures of where it's going to take place. And this will be a real opportunity for you to show what you have got up to in the 24 hours that you've been in one of the most amazing cities in America. We do mean all your photos and videos, and it can be your sightseeing photos and videos as well, because some of you out there will be Instagram hits, and we can't wait to see what you can actually take. It will be a dry event, but that's because this is a scouting occasion. But we hope that you're all going to come, enjoy, and let's all have a great celebration party.
Thanks, Peter. And Peter talked about the open mic. We've already got a couple of ideas in. We've got a team of IST colleagues who are trying to find ways of bringing their fire eating and their fire throwing equipment across to America, and at the moment talking with Scouts of America to see if they can help them with some of that equipment so that they can put on a show and a display. And Peter's been challenged now to make sure the university would be comfortable with that, and all their health and safety and risk assessments have been carried out. So that will be really exciting if we can do that. And we've had people asking us about getting musical instruments across so that they can play the guitars or their ukuleles that Peter's just described. So if you've got a talent, we want to merge in with the other entertainers that we are bringing on board to entertain you, but also I think it would be great if we had some homegrown entertainment from amongst the IST to support that and to complement what else is being presented at the barbecue and beyond. So let's look at the challenges. You know that before Christmas we invited you to join Facebook groups. We moved a number of small themes into create a team of 20 different themes, and the next slide will summarize these. We can see that from the conversations that we've been supporting that some of these groups are more active than others. Some are well ahead in planning and getting to know each other and working with each other and bouncing ideas and writing letters to directors of government departments or emailing scouts in America and in Washington DC, and making contact to try and get some help and support. But it's also apparent that not all of the 620 of you are on the Facebook groups. So next weekend, we'll be encouraging those that aren't there that have Facebook to engage. And you see my bottom point is about meeting up. So when we are in the marquee and we'll be working in the groups that you're in, these 20 theme groups, there'll be an opportunity over the 45 minutes to do some detailed planning, to meet face-to-face people that maybe you've only met on Facebook or some other part of social media, and to really hone in on what your plans are. What's the big activity and adventure that you're going to achieve under the theme that you're doing? What support do you need? And what else might you be able to do together over the coming 9 or 10 weeks to get that ready, so that when you hit the Jamboree, you keep the contributions going and you support each other. And it is your adventure. And the adventure in Washington, DC's, there's so many of them. But with the themes that you've all picked, there's so much opportunity to really create a unique or a number of unique scouting adventures that we can bring back and use to inspire others who might want to go to the United States or to Washington about what they can do, what they can achieve when they're in such a big capital city. So there's the 20 groups. You'll notice the bottom right is the undecided group. I'm delighted that tonight we're down to just 28 people who are still in that group, and we'll be working with them over the next couple of days and certainly at the weekend to help move them into one of the other 19 groups. And if I pick the one above it, history, politics and religion, we had something like 2 IST members who wanted to do something around politics and meet a senator or get into the House of Congress. We had one person who wanted to go to the cathedral in Washington. So that's why that group's put together, so that at least there's going to be a reasonable sized number of people that can help each other, support each other, bounce ideas off each other, buddy up, and make sure that nobody's alone in such a big city, but everybody's able to help each other and pull together. If we look at Night at the Museum, there are something like 40 of you who have asked and want to spend a night in one of the Smithsonian museums, and are working away hard just now trying to to make that happen. So when I talked earlier about the 24 hours of your activities, for these people, it might well be that they're not going to stay at the university. They're actually going to sleep out inside one of the museums. Meeting the president, getting access to the White House, I understand, is proving very challenging. But I know some of the people in that group are still beavering away and working hard and trying to find contacts in America, people who live there, who are residents, who know senators that might be able to pull the necessary strings. So the whole scouting ethos is really coming through about not giving up, about pushing forward, and about making that adventure become reality. And you can see the others. So if you're not sure what one you want to do, chat to one of us over the weekend. Come back to us through the IST mailbox. And at the weekend, we'll also have QR codes, so you'll be able to link up and sign up to the groups as well. I don't have anybody on the call tonight or in groups B and C. I'm expecting not, but just in case any of you are, then we're going to make opportunity for you to have a time together while the groups are working away, so that you can maybe plan any onward travel or maybe even pre-Jamboree travel that you would want to do. So there's an opportunity for you to have some group time at the same workshops without feeling left out. Ooh. And then finally, on the outcomes, it really is your opportunity to do something unique and memorable. The contingent support team colleagues that are supporting IST, we're going to be around and about in Washington and at the university, so we'll be there to help you make your memories. Peter said it, lots of pictures, please, lots of videos. What do you find as you walk around or take part or meet people in your particular challenge? But for me, this is really about the third bullet point. It's about making sure that the 620 of you, or the 750 in total that are going from IST, that we do support each other from now and months back until you actually come back home. That the 620 of you, no matter which one of those 20 groups you're in, have something in common. You have an interest in the history or in the politics or in meeting famous people or in understanding what the emergency services are like in America. But whatever it is, we've got that in common, and therefore there's a bond between us. And if we've got that bond, then we can help each other in the tough times when the work is really pressurizing in the Jamboree, when we're maybe feeling lonely or homesick or whatever. There's an opportunity for another group that we've got to bond with to support. And of course, you've got listening ear and all sorts of other support from the contingent and from the Jamboree organisers. But this particular one, we believe, gives you something that unites us, and we should really be using that and building those relationships from now. So back to Peter for a few more slides.
Okay, thanks, Graham. So after we have had our celebration event, Monday, the 5th of August, this is where we split as an IST. For those of you who are doing option A and you're not going on to do one of the Travel Places tours, there will be staggered transfers back to the airport so that you make your flight on time. If you're doing option D and not doing an onward tour, then obviously you know that you're on your own way to the airport or undertaking further personal activity or travel throughout the United States. And if you're on option A or D and you are doing one of the post tours, then obviously Travel Places will be in touch to look at the schedule for you to get you to your next destination. And this is the Catholic University of America. As you can see from the photos, it shows the university in all its splendor. This is a very large, sprawling university, very close to the center of Washington. The large blue dome to the left in the foreground is the Basilica, and this is very well known. It's a very famous basilica indeed. Joker was out there this year and took some absolutely amazing photos inside it, so well worth a visit if you can. And the other images are the grounds of the university. And it just shows how comfortable everybody's going to be when we're actually on the campus for whatever little time we have in between sightseeing and doing all of the exciting stuff. And check-in. So check-in is extremely important. Everybody is going to have allocated rooms. Currently, we're looking at who you're sharing with on the Jamboree. We will keep these pairings where possible. Or if your tent buddy is not doing post-event, we will look at other pairings. The room key, as you can see, please do keep it very safe. $50 if that is lost. As an adult on IST, it is your responsibility. And unfortunately, you will be the person paying for a lost key if you do lose it. Graham mentioned earlier on about the meal time. When you check in, you will be allocated your meal time, and this is all dependent on whether you're doing a bus tour, the time of the bus tour, or whether you're just going sightseeing. But as Graham said, the meals will be in the university, and it'll be a nice change, hopefully, or a nice relaxing hot meal with your own room and showers and all that sort of stuff. Also then, as Graham mentioned, everybody is getting a metro ticket to get in and around Washington, DC. And that is an all-day ticket. So you will have the chance then to go down to the metro and get in around Washington and start those absolutely fantastic challenges, which we're hoping to see a lot about.
And Michelle.
Hi everyone. So this is the CUA open space that we're going to be using for the celebration event. As you can see, there's lots of open green space. It's very pretty. There's going to be a stage, we're going to have some music, and we're going to use the lawn for lots of different activities.
Right.
Excellent. As you can see from these pictures here, there's lots of wonderful catering facilities in the university. There's lots of choice. You can have meals from the grill, there's pizza, pasta, and a salad bar. And you'll also see there's a very well-stocked shop. And then from these pictures here, this is the accommodation at the CUA. So this top left photo here is the check-in area. So this is the sort of first stop that you'll make to collect your keys. There's also a laundry facility here. So if you've got washing to do or you're going on to tours afterwards and want to have fresh kit, this is kind of the area that you'll be using. The top right is the Millennium South accommodation block. Bottom left is a view across the campus from the accommodation. And then the bottom right is the area of the campus has the snack bar, coffee shop, and a cash machine if you need it. And back over to Peter.
Okay, so the Catholic University of America was chosen because we seen it as an ideal university location. It was big enough to house over 600 people, and it's only 5 stops out from the main tourist parts of Washington on the metro. The walk to the metro station is between 5 and 10 minutes. If you have a quick look at the map that is on the screen right now, in the top right-hand corner, it says Brookland-CUA. That is where you're staying. And as you can see, as you go into the center of Washington, all of the major stops and the places with 2 circles, so the major stations, it is about 30 minutes into Washington Center. So all your travel times are going to be reduced, and hopefully you'll be able to sort of jump on the metro, get into Washington, get back out again when you need to, and everything will be close at hand. And just so you know some of the approximate travel times, as Graham mentioned at the start of the presentation, to get to Washington, DC from the site is going to take between 6 and 7 hours. So arrival time will be anywhere between 1 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Getting into the mall via the metro is a 30-minute journey. Obviously, you're going to be there on a weekend in the middle of the summer. It may be busy. We don't know. If you're going to the baseball, it's between an hour and an hour 30 approximately to get there. If you're then looking for transport to airports to continue your travels, Dulles Airport is close to an hour and a half, and Reagan International then is 30 minutes.
Thanks, Peter. We do have a number of questions I can see have been posted, so we'll move on to those. But as the questions are going through, if there's anything coming to mind, please do ask them in the box, and Jonathan will pick them up and we'll try and deal with them. Jonathan, do you want to fire the first question across to somebody?
Yes, I think we'll start off. There's a couple of questions on the Metro card come in. Probably one for you, Peter. Does the Metro card just last for the day, or does it last for the whole time we're in Washington DC? And how can we choose? How can people choose to use the Metro card?
Well, the Metro card is a one-day travel card. So when you arrive on the Saturday, it'll be valid for that full day. If you're there on the Sunday and not going to the baseball, then you will get another Metro card. So it's a 24-hour card for that day. For use of the card, it is just you jump on the Metro, you're scanning the card in to get through the gates, and you can jump in and out as many times as you want. So it's unlimited travel on one day.
Brilliant, thanks a lot for that. And then one for you, Graham, really. So if people have got different talents, we've got a suggestion, maybe comedy, if someone's got a comedic streak to them, is that welcome at the post event?
Only if they're good jokes. Listen, it's your event, and it's us giving you an opportunity to express your own thanks to colleagues, to celebrate what you've just achieved and supporting so many young people get so much out. We're working at the moment on some entertainment, but it would be really good if there was different types. So yeah, I'm happy if people think that jokes and stand-up comedians are going to help make the atmosphere of an evening for close on 600 people from the UK IST have a fantastic time and celebration, then let's do it. Let's do it. It doesn't have to be just music. It's about whatever talents we've got, because that's part of our legacy as well, is coming back and being able to reflect on that event, but also encourage others to do similar things in 4 years' time and at other events too.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. And if anyone does want to volunteer, either approach one of the team at the All Adult Weekend, or just drop as an email at the IST inbox using the web form on the IST zone, and we'll come back to you and discuss your ideas, however wild and wacky they may be. So we've got a quick question here from Joanne, just asking if you've forgotten whether you've entered the ballot or not. Hopefully, all being well, technology with us. At 9 o'clock tonight, everyone who entered the ballot will receive an event notification confirming that they'll be attending the ballot. So if you were unsure whether you entered, those who entered will be getting a notification on the app. Probably one for you, Peter. Obviously, meals are provided at the Catholic University. If people don't want to, because they may want to go out and sample some of the cuisine, assume that is okay?
Obviously, that's personal choice. We are providing the meal for all of the IST on the Saturday night within the university, because it's probably the best way to bring everybody together and to fit it in with the bus tours. If people are going into Washington and they want to eat at somewhere else, it will be at their own cost. We have no way of refunding that. So yes, they can eat somewhere else, but they will be on their own. On the Sunday night for the barbecue, we are asking that everybody's back for that. That is the celebration event. And we do hope to make that into a great send-off for all the IST who've worked so hard.
That's brilliant. And just to clarify one of your early points on the travel card, yes, so it's 1 day only. So if we arrive on Saturday, it's valid for the Saturday. But if you then not doing the baseball, we'll provide you with another travel card to allow you to get around on the Sunday, because you're not at the baseball, so therefore can use the travel card on the Sunday. So just coming back to a question about site, Graham, just to clarify, what time do we think we're going to be leaving site on the Saturday morning?
So we are, you'll have guessed I've been vague, we are talking very, very early in the morning. And obviously there's a lot of buses that are going to need to be filled to get 600 or so people off. And there may be other contingents leaving at the same time. But I would be expecting well before 6 o'clock in the morning that we'll be up and ready and not sitting in these coaches. But we're not being specific at the time because we're still got all that scheduling to do with the Jamboree organisers. But do expect a very, very early rise, even if you go to bed. And an exceptionally early departure for these coaches to get into Washington, so you've got as much time as possible for your challenges, to do the sightseeing, to get settled into the university, and just to start relaxing after your 10 days of work as well.
Brilliant, thanks, Graham. Just was on a clarification then, one of the questions on allocations for rooms and how that links to sharing of tents. As you've seen, the US contingent have now been asking their members to let them know about tent allocation. We're currently looking into what we might do on tent allocations and how that might work, and there'll be more information on that and how that may work once we've made a decision as a UK contingent on the different nuances of tent allocation. So as that becomes clear, we'll know more about post-event allocations of rooms as well. One for you, Peter, or Graham. I'll let one of you jump in here. What do you need to wear for the post-event?
I think for the celebration part of it, Jonathan.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it would be nice if we were in uniform. I think that would give us some reflection of what we are. It would show anybody else that was around the campus, university staff. I think it would give us some good image photographs and videos and social media that we can play back to colleagues in this country, and also to use as that PR for 2023 for South Korea and what IST might do. So my gut feeling is, yeah, I think we should have uniform, or Peter, what do you think?
Yes, I agree with what you've just said. I think uniform would be a suitable way to finish the event for all of the IST.
Brilliant, thanks, guys. And while you're on, Peter, we've covered some of the meal times, but just going into a bit more detail on breakfast and lunches, if you may.
Yes, the question there was asked, are we providing breakfast on the Sunday and the Monday? The answer is yes, we are. Lunches on the Saturday, or on the Sunday, sorry, if you're going to the baseball, there will be a meal included with your ticket. If you're not, you will be getting a boxed lunch from the university and your travel ticket for the day. So you will be fed and watered throughout your stay in the university and Washington.
Brilliant, thank you. I'm probably staying with you, Peter. I think if this applies to more those that are on independent travel, so option D. But what time do we need to have vacated the university on the Monday?
That is something that I will take back to travel places to see exactly when we have to leave. There will be a checkout time, I'm sure, and obviously then everybody's on different flight times and different onward journeys. So we will check that out and we will get an answer for an FAQ.
Brilliant, thanks, Peter, on that. And one I picked up earlier that was submitted for the call was, do we get kind of a choice of the bus times? We've mentioned that there'll be probably 2 slots of buses. Are people going to be able to choose for that?
Yes, at this moment in time, we are looking to see when people are leaving site. So the idea is that if people leave site on the very, very first buses, that they will probably do the earlier bus tour. And obviously if they leave the site later, they will be then on the later bus tour in the evening. With the meal being in the university, the idea is that everybody has that middle time to have a meal before they go on a bus tour, or they'll be on the early bus tour and have their meal after. So that's the plan at the moment.
That's brilliant, thank you. That's run through the majority of questions. I don't know if why we just see if there's any more questions from people. Please submit them if you've got any more burning questions. Is there anything just going around the team we want to say that we feel like we might miss? Peter, Graham, Michelle?
I really like the idea of the comedy. I really like the idea of the event being as varied as possible. Britain's Got Talent, possibly, but yes, yes, bring your best acts to the stage.
Anything from you, Graham?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to meeting everybody at the weekend that's coming, and helping you do some more detailed work, get to know who else is in your themed group, and supporting you as you do your planning and start your planning for the activities, or bring it to a conclusion, because you've done so much work already with colleagues across America from Scouts who've been helping us.
Yeah, and you pick on an important point there. We're working really hard to make sure that the groups that you've selected are the ones that you'll be in for your workshop. So the people of like-minded will be together at the All Adult Weekend, so you can really meet each other face to face at the All Adult Weekend. Just a few more questions will then come in then. On bedding, is bedding provided at the university, or is it a sleeping bag type arrangement?
I will need to confirm, but I'm nearly sure that it's sleeping bags, that everybody's going to be bringing their own sleeping bags. But I will confirm.
Brilliant. And if people want to look around the university, particularly the Basilica that you mentioned, is that available all the time on both days for people to go in? Is there particular times?
That is something that we haven't explored, the exact opening times, but we will be talking to the university hopefully this week again. So yes, we will try to find an answer, maybe before the weekend, but definitely for another FAQ.
Brilliant, thank you. I think we'll wrap up the questions. Just got one last point. If people do feel they've explored a group and they feel they may want to change a group, don't worry about it. Just come and speak to us either at the All Adult Weekend. We're looking to have QR codes around the workshop venue at the All Adult Weekend, so you can join a different group, or just drop us a message and we'll send you a link to one of the other groups. If you feel like, having reflected on what you want to do, had a look what's available in Washington DC, and you want to join a different group, then that's more than fine. Which leaves me just to hand back to Graham to say the final comments, really.
Yeah, well, thank you all for taking the time this evening. I don't know if you've all been on the 4 calls so far, but many thanks for joining us tonight, and thanks to Peter, Vicky, Michelle, and Jonathan for supporting this one and making sure that we've shared all the information we've got so far. And we've heard some good questions, some good points that we're going to build in now to the final planning that we're working on over the next 9 weeks, to make sure that your events are good, your challenges are fantastic, and the celebration event is what you would want it to be, to bring your Jamboree to an end, knowing that you've done a great job supporting so many young people across the world to have a fantastic time. So you can see on the slide now on the screen that the next telecon is 6th of June, same time, 8 o'clock, and we're going to be looking at Jamboree Live and what that will be like on the campsite. So please join us then. Please encourage anybody else that didn't quite make it tonight to join in that one. And thank you all very much for your time this evening.